Let's talk about relationships, shall we? To be honest with y'all, I have pretty limited experience when it comes to relationships. I see other people around me with exes and girlfriends and boyfriends, and here I am with my first and hopefully only girlfriend. I don't have as much experience when it comes to dating norms, but I do feel that some norms are grossly outdated and needs changing. First of all, there's a norm that parents are the ones who decide whether a relationship should even exist at all. In Taming of the Shrew by William Shakespeare, Baptista does not allow his youngest daughter, Bianca, to get married before her older sister, Catherine, does. The problem is, at the beginning of the play, no one wants to marry Catherine because of her temper and willingness to fight everyone else in the play. This means that Bianca is basically robbed of any chance of being in a relationship if she suddenly fancies anyone, all because of father's rule. Petruchio also says to Catherine, "Thus in plain terms, your father hath consented, that you shall be my wife, your dowry agreed on." Basically, he's implying that because Catherine's father gave him permission, he has to marry her. Catherine is essentially treated as an object that is controlled by Baptista, which is then given to Petruchio in marriage. This type of control doesn't seem fair, but it happens. It's something I can relate to, since even though my parents don't have any restrictions on who I can date or when, my girlfriend's parents do. They play a big role in saying what their daughter can or cannot do and when, like what time she's allowed to hang out, who she can hang out with, where she can go, and so on and so forth. This doesn't make it easy for us when we try to arrange dates and hang out with each other, and makes her and I very frustrated. So parents shouldn't be the one to define who we love and when we get to love. We should be the ones who should find it out for ourselves. Then there's a norm that the man is supposed to be the proactive one in the relationship, that he's the one who starts the relationship and he's the one who tells the woman what to do. In Taming of the Shrew, Petruchio tells Catherine that the sun is the moon and that Lucentio's dad, is actually a young lady. Catherine eventually gives way and lets Petruchio determine her reality by saying that what you will have it named, even that it is, and so it shall be for Catherine. At the beginning of our relationship, I was the one who had to make the move and ask my girlfriend out. I was the one who had to say that I love her and persuade to start a relationship. We didn't try to dictate each other's realities and try to enforce our way of thinking on one another, but there were moments where we kind of expected the other person to make the move. I don't really like this norm because this kind of resembles the first norm, where instead of deciding what to do for yourself, you have someone make decisions for you, which I don't think is fair, because you're supposed to be the one who knows yourself best, and you should be the ones making the choice for yourself. The final norm that I'm going to bring up today is the norm that being in a date or a relationship with someone automatically entitles you to physical activities with them. In the induction of Taming of the Shrew, Christopher Sly refuses to believe that he's a lord and is confused of what is going on until the actual lord mentions that he has a wife who has been waiting for him over the years that he has been mentally ill. His behavior then changes as he kind of like plays into the role and believes that he is the Lord, in the expectation that he gets to have pleasure from his wife. Sly believes that because he has a wife, he is entitled to receive pleasure from her through physical activity. I don't have any experience with this because I'm a good child and I'm too young for that, but I believe that consent is something that always changes and isn't inferred from something else. Just because the girl is going on a date with you doesn't mean you're entitled to a kiss from her or to spend the night with her. Our dating norms and preferences have been changing ever since we existed, and they're definitely going to change as time goes on. I hope that these norms get changed because they just seem kind of out of date in this time and age where everyone talks about free will and equality, but at the same time the world's on fire and our country's broken.